See, this is where Richard would be really useful.
I know. What an a-hole.
Yeah. I'll bet you, like, you know how when, like, your computer needs to update, it says, do you want to update now or you can postpone it for 4 hours? He was probably like, okay, I could either update my computer or go on the podcast. Oh, well, let's update the computer. So on the question, how is the Abyss related to the Dark? So I think what is the Abyss, you know, in light of that question, in the context of Dark Souls 1, would appear to be a place that Manus either gave rise to or that Manus opened up the pathway to, based on whatever was happening to him at the hands of the Ulyssilian sorcerers, who were presumably studying him because, or, you know, experimenting on him because humans are dark. Here's a human, and, you know, because they want to study light. So if you're studying light, you're also studying dark because of how the two are related.
Wasn't Kath the one who sort of directed them or pushed them in that direction?
That they were fooled by a toothy serpent, I believe. Chester put it that way. Yeah. So interesting. That they were. I'm actually going to look at Chester's dialogue. That's a good idea. No, not Chester. Pardon me. Marvelous Chester.
Marvelous.
So earlier when I couldn't get the game sound to work, instead of just not saying anything when the dialogue was on, I was trying to voice all the different characters, and everyone sounded the same, except for Siegmeyer was the one character that I could do like half decently, but everyone else, all the people in chat said that it sounded like they were all like 2-pack-a-day smokers, because the way I was trying to do the voice.
Did you know that Richard is super talented at doing voices?
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
Like, it's crazy because I asked him to do a couple of voices for me for an upcoming video, and when I played it for my boyfriend, he had to do a double take. He's like, "Wait, is this Richard or is this the voice actor?" Like, I'm like, "No, that's Richard." I
had him do that on I can't remember what the context was though, or who it was. But I had him do a voice one time too, and I can't remember if I cut it out or not at the final episode. But yeah, I remember it being pretty good.
He made a German voice in a podcast once, and somebody was like, "Was that Richard?" Like, they were like, "Really?"
That's amazing.
Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
God, who was it? No, it was something like, it was really good. The voice that he did. I feel like it was a really goofy NPC, but now I can't remember. But so he says that. So we talked to Chester. So he talks about Artorias, okay, and then talks about the giant mushroom. Did you really slay Knight Artorias? So he says, did you really slay Knight Artorias? I've heard that the Abyss found him first, but even still, that's absolutely treacherous. Yes, magnificently so. Mwahaha. So treacherous that we killed Artorias. And then he says, believe it or not, Ulysil has brought the Abyss upon itself. Fooled by that toothy serpent, they upturned the grave of primeval man and incited his ornery wrath. So, ornery meaning bad-tempered and combative or stubborn. So,
and primeval meaning
like relating to the beginning of time. Let's see. Primeval meaning of or resembling the earliest ages in the history of the world. So, leading to a lot of the speculation at the time, and maybe this was originally the script, that Manus was the furtive pygmy. But you know, with Dark Souls 3, whether it's a retcon or not, you know, I can't say. But in Dark Souls 3, obviously we know that it's not just a furtive pygmy, that there's a bunch of furtive pygmies. They upturned the grave of primeval man and incited his... So, again, so they dug up Manus, presumably trying to understand dark, or trying to understand light by virtue of its relationship with dark. But also, it says they were fooled by that toothy serpent. So maybe he was, hey, you guys are studying the light? Well, I'll tell you what you need to do. I can't do the voices. I can't.
This is why we need Richard.
Yep. But he says, what could they have been thinking? But to you and I, it's all ancient history. You have to ask yourself, does it really matter? I don't know if that's FromSoft saying, like, you know, the story doesn't matter, but I guess it could be. And then, yeah, that's pretty much all. Like, he has other stuff to say, but none of it as interesting or relevant as that. But yeah, so that's, I'm not entirely sure how Presumably that was Kath who did that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see what Frampt would have had to gain by doing that.
Yeah.
Unless there was like poop on offer or something, but like, you know what species has the best poop? Primeval man. Oh, dig him up. Dig him up. Need some dung pies.
Did you see my little video about Frampt?
About the dung pies?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I did, yeah. I couldn't not after you mentioned it. But yeah, that's so that question, I don't know that. What is the abyss and how is the abyss? So I don't really know, even though it was a good way of getting us to answer the first question in a different way. I'm not really sure about the question of how the abyss is related to the dark, other than humans are said to be dark, humans are said to be of the abyss.
Yeah.
And so, again, maybe it is just about excess. Anything in excess is bad, and the abyss is all about dark. And you know, it's so dark that it becomes I don't know. I'm not sure.
Well, you know how the abyss only spread after they tortured Manus, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if the abyss is not bad or good, it's whatever, but depending on how you sort of treat it is what it becomes?
Mm-hmm. So similar to the deep, yeah.
Yeah, like if they tortured this guy and, well, yeah, they tortured this guy and so the abyss spread, but because he was tortured, it was this destructive force. Mm-hmm. Maybe if they fed him cookies, it would be like this unicorn abyss or something, you know?
Well, and so, you know, I think you're right. And in terms of the word ornery, which, you know, we said means bad-tempered and combative. Mm-hmm. So bad-tempered, I guess, meaning easily annoyed or made angry. So that the dark isn't itself inherently evil, but it can be very volatile in the sense that if you do the wrong thing, if you treat it in the wrong way, if you expose it to the wrong conditions, then it can quickly become bad.
Yeah.
So at least that's what that word in Marvelous Chester's dialogue suggests to me.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, let's be honest, if you woke me up from like a 4,000-year nap and did not offer me coffee, I would spread the abyss everywhere too.
I think you'd spread the abyss even if you had coffee. Well, I guess maybe if it was bad coffee.
Even if you had coffee, it would spread. Yeah. Who dares wake me up?
Yeah. You'd be a little bit more tolerable while spreading it.
You get the abyss, and you get the abyss, and you get the abyss.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So the next one, I think this is yours again. Where is the abyss location?
Where is the? Oh, you skipped one, or did you skip it on purpose?
How is? Oh, yeah. Shit. Sorry. How does the abyss work? Why does the abyss corrupt?